Hello all, Dr. Fox back here with your weekend update. Happy Halloween! You can see I'm all dressed up today. No, I'm not naked. It's part of the Wonder Woman costume to celebrate 80 years of Wonder Woman this year. So that's what I'm dressing up as this year. I want to be able to go like this because with these on, I'm Diana. And then this is the way I wanted to be like this. So with that said, I think we've got 9.1.5 dropping this week. We got a lot of stuff to cover. I'm gonna just hit. I know we've been talking about some of it for some time now, but I wanted to, because it's now fresh in everybody's minds. It gets ready to go live on Tuesday. I'd like to go over a lot of that. We got a few other things I want to touch on, and I think with that, let's get into our show, shan't we? Dr. Fox back here with you with the weekend update. First off, happy Halloween, happy Hallows and in game, and for those that don't celebrate it. I hope you have a decent, enjoyable fall time weekend or whatever you do, and that's totally fine. I don't want to feel like I'm alienating some folks to that or not to that, or to involve someone. Besides, no matter what I say, a lot of people will take these things out of context, misinterpret that. And with that said, we'll shift gears. 9.1.5 drops on this Tuesday coming, so we have a lot of things to go over. I've got a lot of places to hit. Those that come by this weekend will be enjoying some wonderful candy. I wish I could be portable and drive around and give all of you some candy. It's one of my favorites. That's a line from Garfield's Halloween, and I usually watch that with my bro on the day of Halloween, and hope you're enjoying Miss Mora over there. She is perfect. She is a black cat for the month. She has already got her costume and she's ready to roll up. And she decided to get up. Oh, and then she's right over there. She is right there. You guys are getting her tail in the other photograph. And then she's gonna probably, now that she's hearing me up and talk and kind of take control of the conversation, she's gonna probably run around and start yelling at the door and scratching at it. So bear with us as we try to get through all these steps. I've got a lot of stuff to kind of hit with you. Of course, I think one of the biggest things of controversy, well, not controversy, but just you've got mixed feelings about how everybody's feeling about that. And sometimes these are, we see this quite often. This could be a hint at the next expansion, especially since we've had so many dark expansions lately. Usually we're going to probably see some kind of light one, and I think with this one I can see some sort of sun wavering like saddle set up over there, like in the Blood Elf area, or over on what is it, the Q-Wall Isle or whatever that's called up there. I can never pronounce that right. I call it Q-Isle, I guess. But it feels like that. And so there's this sun worried feline mount that's available. Let's see if I can pull that up here. I don't know if that'll let me do it right here from the shop. I think so. Mounts, yeah, there it is. Sun warmed fur line. There we go, right there. And it looks great. Trust me, I would love to have that in a heartbeat. You get those terrible, horrible people that are saying things like, or then they'll say, well, "We're not horrible for saying that." I'm saying this is a controversy that goes on. You got your pros and your cons. Some people are excited for it. I would like to see them add that one as a free mount into your 6-month renewal. That would be a nice freebie I'd like to get, and not have to wait until Winter Veil of 2022 to get it for $12 fitting. Some were willing to pay full price. That's great. Other people are like, with the state that Blizz-Activision is in right now, they think it's another one of those, and we've been seeing this happen for many expansions now. People get very angry about it, and then God forbid one time I'm trying to help out some of my viewers to show them the positive side of a new mount, right? And I picked it up, and all I get is these negative comments and like, you're part of the problem for buying it, and we're trying to boycott that. Like, there's this whole really angry negative side of this whole thing. So anyway, let's kind of leave that at your discretion. I have seen a couple of them running around already, and I think that's awesome. I love the little kitty. I'm a huge cat person myself. I love dogs too. I'm not saying, but it'd be great. Oh, and speaking of that, she came to give Mama some rubbings. Hi, honey. He's rubbing Mama's rubbing. So speaking of feline, she's like right there. She is. I wish I could have a remote, like get my camera on like a little remote setup, almost like the Android they have. But I'm sorry, I'm not willing to dish out $1,000 just so I can get a mobile Alexa basically that moves around in my house. I know I want it because I'm a huge robotics fan, but I'm like, $1,000. I don't have that kind, especially right now when I'm really focused on surgeries and we have to stay focused on those. It just becomes a very, very challenging piece of hardware. And then within a few years, there's already talk of them like working on the next one, like we see with a phone. You already, you get a phone and then they're already working on the next phone after that as well. So, BlizzCon Online, they put in a statement. It's been officially canceled, which, the statement basically says, look, we need more time to work on games. It still takes a lot, even when you do that, when you put it online for an event. I get that. And so when they do have something new in a game, I think they'll just do like a little video online, little short piece on it, or 15, 20, half hour something piece on what they've got coming. I think that's what we tend to see that more often. With that as well, the Activision Blizzard action suit. Bobby, the CEO, put out another statement of some of the things they're trying to change when it comes to non-binary individuals and other. There's a list of those parts in. I'll put the link. If you're so inclined to read such a thing. All right, I think with that, we'll switch gears. We got a lot to cover. 9.1.5 drops on Tuesday. A lot of it's the quality of life. This is usually where we see the 0.5 quality of life upgrades, generally. And I think with that, we're going to see anyone that's playing allied races, like some of my characters right here, you can see some of the allied races. I've already put on that's my Bastion outfit that I unlocked from my main hunter on the other account, which is really nice. And the hunter, I'm still plugging away at her. I did get her to level 55. I've got her literally ready, set up in Korthia. Thank goodness they put in those couple of options in the last 9.0.5. Wait, right? Or 9.1, I think. Yeah. Yes, where they had the skips put in. Yes, correct. And then so I was able to skip a couple of items. And then that way I'll be happy. We'll get into the thing about the heirlooms and being able to jump your alts up to like 40 renowned, which I'll talk about that shortly. And I got her to 55. I'm just trying to get a couple of these chicas because they've already run the Maw. The good news is you'll be able to skip the Maw. And I still got to work on these two chicas. I haven't, but I really just trying to get a couple of these alts ready to roll for 60. Really, to be honest, just slowly plugging away at them. That's what I'm working on. Just more quality of life. There'll be 3 new pets that hunters will be able to tame. In this one, there's the little grommets. So I think those guys are really cute over in Korthia. They've got like the bug flying type ones. And then I think there was one other. If I had the setup better, I would have it post. You'd see it pop right up here on screen as well. Critter soul shapes. There's a bunch of these critter and soul shape options. Anyone that wants to know more about that, it's something that I don't know how to describe this, but it's. I think we'll have to kind of leave it at that. There are some new options for the little pet options that come up for that. It's a little. I have a little hard time trying to describe that one. I just wanted to mention that there are some new critter and soul shapes for those that are interested in that. If you don't know what that's about, I feel for you a little bit. I'm a little confused on it myself. Let me put it that way. Some exciting parts that come undone now that I'm all excited. My main character finally hit renown 80, and as soon as 9.1.5 drops Tuesday, probably for us it'll probably be usually when we see those, it's probably going to be like 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for us. And I feel for you, the ones on the other side of the world. You guys will have it like the next. Well, technically, that's your noon for the next day. For us at 6-ish. But I feel for you on that. Conduit. Oh yeah, the conduits will now be fully. You can change them at will. You'll be able to change your renowns now at will. If you're level 80 renowned, you can't just bounce around prior to that. So my my main character that's renowned 80, she'll be able to bounce through different covenants if need be, as well. And the rescue souls will now be a repeatable quest. The energy will be gone from the conduits. Usually I go to the conduits every single day and I have to click on the new one, and now all the little circle energy bars at the bottom of the screen when you open the conduit, that will be gone as well. The alt, as I said, there'll be that vendor that you'll be able to purchase some of the items for. The anima cash trader as well. We're going to see the heirlooms now go from 50 to 6 all the way to 60. It looked like there was a scouting map a toy available as well. There's 2 different heirloom weapon and armor upgrades for those. I meant to write down. I don't know if they might change after PTR, so I didn't want to give the amounts until they go live as well. Alts. So you'll, for 500 gold, at least on the PTR right now, you can use it to give to an alt to bounce them to 40. That's what the character I'm going to do with the Stephanie character that popped to 60. I've been collecting pieces of gear from my main, and I've been sending them over to her. And she's probably got geared now, 4 or 5 pieces at this point, I think. Like 200 level pieces ready to be upgraded. And the good news, speaking of that, when you don't have to grind, when you get to tier 6, that's the thing that I'm working on through this month. Until the TImewalking drop. There she goes. She's yowling now in the background if any of you can hear it. But I'm trying to get to tier 6. I did finally hit, for those curious, I did hit tier 5 over in Korthia finally, and I finally found the rest of the little bonus reps that you can pick up. They're these like rare treasures that you can get. It's like a one-time treasure. So I think I'm up to about 9,000. So, well, hello there, love bug. Mama's working on it, sweetie. She just decides to do this right when I'm trying to get my show done, right? Isn't that the way? She's like, Mama, you're not paying attention to me. You should be paying attention to me. Yeah, now she's in the looking out the back window. So what I was trying to say is you can buy that renowned item for an alt once they hit 60, and you can shoot them up to 40. It's 500 gold on the PTR. Carrion Path of Ascension. There'll be some minor changes there. I don't want to go get too much into it. I'll put the link in there. You can go into more detail about all these changes coming up as well. Mythic Plus, some of the 20-second. One of the techniques in there is it was permanent. Now it's down to 20 seconds. Neurotic Ward or Dirt. I can't even read half my writing anymore these days. It's going down from 6 seconds because it was 9 before. There was these damage bows, 50%. It was 75 before. And of course, as we mentioned, Legion TImewalking. There's going to now be Legion TImewalking key. So what I'm going to be doing between now and December 7th, the TImewalking Legion doesn't drop. It comes in 9.1.5, but until 9.1.5 goes live, you got to then wait for the calendar to come around, because not only are we going to do the anniversary thing later in November, but then they'll have the Legion TImewalking, and they're going to have keys. So it's dropping December 7th. So throughout this month, this is the month where I'm going to be grinding to get to that tier 6, because there's a tier 6 option that you can purchase to give your alts 50% more research that drops. So it's better. At least the grind it will be half as bad, if you will. But to be honest, I kind of like to see them either just give you an option that just lets you buy research and just send it right over. I mean, that kind of does it a little. I get what they're saying, but and of course the Mage Tower goes live with TImewalking. You can get different things in there that are coming live again. Sadly, someone asked, you're going to have to do the Mage Tower again. It's not going to be the way it was before because there's been changes in the classes and how they play. But you'll have to redo it on each class if anyone wants the mount there as well. Polished Pet Charm prices, good news. Hang on to your Ultimate Battle. Those purple stones, they used to cost $60 or wait to buy them until Tuesday because they're going to drop down to $35 a piece. Thank goodness, because it's been bugging the crap out of me trying to buy those back in the day, and I wish I could have waited, because boy, I could have sure used those. Almost half price. They're $35 compared to $60. It would have been nice to them to pop it right down to $30. But you know, what are you gonna do, right? Legion raids been now retooled. Now you can solo those. As long as you get some decent gear, and you should be able to go through those. They're going to be retooling those. The Island Expedition finally has allowing you to finally go solo, so you can grind out all that old stuff. I know there's some goodies in that I never got to finish. It was horrendously awful, and it was a struggle, and trying to get decent gear, and people give you attitude, and I'm just so damn tired. I'm just so exhausted mentally and physically when it comes to those things, and many will just like throw their arms up and just walk away from the game completely. I still like the downtime, and I enjoy a little time with it. I'm not like, I know the difference between obsession and just a little fun time every once in a while. I allow myself a little fun time to play around with it. It's a nice relaxing place to go when I don't have to deal with attitude and issues of people. But that's a horror story for a different day. As well. Then we have, let's see, we've got some of the other things changing as well. They've got Arctivist Codex. Oh yeah, I did mention that the rep buffs are also, so you'll be getting more of those also just dropping. You don't just, when you hit tier 6, you don't have to just buy that for your alts. There will be actually more codex. From what I understand, they will even on your main will start dropping more often or more of them. But they may be referring to the option for your alts only for that bonus that I was referring to a few minutes earlier. Let's see, we've got relics. Okay, supposedly more rep. We've got faster. Oh yeah, faster battling pets now when you're going out and just battling. Instead of the poor things dying and you having to reset the pet battle and get no experience. Now, if you have a pet that passes away, you'll still get 50% of the experience, which is nice. Because that was such a pain in the Watusi before. It's like, I fainted. And it's like now, it was such a pain for me. Like I said, there'll be a new dressing room option that you can like link or put up to share with friends or other individuals to show kind of where you got those items from. Supposedly they're fixing the group finder campaigns. And I think with that, I did mention, yeah. So yeah, yes, my dog. Yes, I know my honey bunches of oats with strawberries. Yeah, so I think today, before we get into the calendar, I thought in the mood of sort of when we talked about Ironhide last week, these two are basically created the same transformation, and I thought today we'd do Ratchet. So here's Ratchet. This is sort of the same setup. Literally, it's just instead of the Ironhide one, this is the setup for Ratchet. They just painted it white instead of the red, and then they added a little siren up there, and then of course Ratchet is the same setup as. And again, this is I kind of want to get these two out of the way because they're probably the most disappointing transformations in my opinion. I know others will say otherwise, but it's just there should be a little head up here. There are much better versions. There's some MP ones, and there's some re-releases of them for War of Cybertron that look a lot better. I can't afford all those. So I've got a mix of War of Cybertron and a mix of Gen 1s. And so I'm just kind of going through my list of these particular characters in the state that we're in. Because like I said, I'm not going to be able to... I would say not have the room eventually. It depends on the circumstance of what I plan on doing. So, you know, right there, and then the back would come down. You know, so that is Ratchet, or at least it's Gen 1 Transformers Ratchet. So I thought I'd share Ratchet today before we got into the calendar. And like I said, I was showing you that I've got her ready, and I've been slowly. The way I've been doing it is I've been flying around doing Hallow Zen right now, and I always go and do the flame one first. One of the easiest quests to do in the game ever is during Hallow Zen. You go over, you grab the quest from the lady, you just run right across the little road, right from where she is, cross the road, and you just touch the big fire pit, and you complete the quest, and you turn it in. I know there's a couple other simple ones like that, but literally turn that in, and then I'll just fly around to the inns in between my queues. I've been doing the Shadowland queue dungeons. Plus, it's been helping gear her up just a tiny bit better. So I've been kind of doing that when I have a little downtime. I've still got to work on these two gals, but main thing is I'm excited. I got at least one of my alts finished, and I'm plugging away at her, but I'm still doing my dailies, and you can see that, like I said, this is my renown. This is my main character over here for those that right here. This is my Chica. This is where I spend most of my time with her, and then we're going to go onto the calendar, because I love my calendar kitties. Aside from you scratching at the window over there, Miss Prissy. Hey, Miss Prissy. All right, yes, we're gonna deal with you in a few minutes. In a good way, don't worry. No animals are ever harmed at this home. We are a loving family here, even when some will think it's frustrating. The thing is a lot of people will misinterpret animal behavior, and they think it has to do with human behavior, and they forget that it's different, and that is how they communicate. You just have to try to discourage them, not in a negative way. You've got to try to do it in a different way to discourage them from scratching at the windows or at posters or screens or other things that they do that to. And a lot of people will misinterpret that, and they'll think their cats are these horrible jerks, and they use that in so many different comedic and film discussions and comedies, and it's not what people think. They've misinterpreted. I get what the humor they're going for there, but all I'm saying is it can then misinterpret, because a lot of people will misinterpret pop culture and misinterpret that, and then convert it in their own way, in a negative way in their mind, and think that's a bad thing. So I think with that, let's get into our calendar. Love my calendar kitty. So of course we have Dark Moon Fair is dropping tomorrow, or if you're seeing this on Sunday, just drop today. So you can get I don't know if you can overlap them double. If you can get for like at least for a day anyway, or 2 days, to get the 10%. If you see it up here for 15 hour right here, the Unburdened, that gives you 10% rep and experience gained from clicking on the fire. Whenever mine would run out, I would go there and I would use that to get that extra 10%. And it lasts for 2 hours, and I think you can go get the 10% from Dark Moon. That would be a good time to do, like if you needed a little extra rep grind that you need to do, or maybe a little leveling to get those bonuses put on tomorrow. I know they're kind of a pain to run back and forth, especially if you die and then you lose them. That's the only thing I wish would stay. I wish they'd fix a quality of life that if you die, it stays on there. Now, I get why they do it that way. But of course, we have the I was going to say it in Espanol. De los Aldos. The Day of the Dead, anyway. We have that coming up a couple of days. I know they're celebrating that with Victor and Valentino. A lot of those animated shows sort of feature that kind of thing. And they've been showing a couple of Latino, a couple of individuals, a couple of young children, some of the things that they celebrate for that particular holiday coming up. So we have the remembrance of those that we've lost. This week we have, of course, 9.1.5 is the big drop here on Tuesday. Torghast Beasts of Program. That's beginning, supposedly. Let's hope that this calendar stays current to the 9.1.5. It may change these calendars. So then let me just put disclaimer. calendar may change slightly in this conversation. PvP Brawl Gravity Latch, that's ending. World Quest bonus event, that's beginning this week. Area Skirmish bonus is ending. PvP Brawl, this one's the Comp Stomp is beginning as well. And so that's a great start for those getting us into November. And then, of course, next weekend, I'll be talking about Daylight Savings Time Gal. If you remember that PSA that I did like a decade ago. I'll put the link next week. That comes next week, and it's always a reminder. Just to, I always used to love doing that kind of stuff to help people out and do public service announcements in a good way. The ones that and to help remind those to change their batteries. We'll talk about that next week. We'll have another one that we'll talk about. I hope that you're recovering safely from whether you'll have leftovers for Halloween, or maybe you don't celebrate. It's just another week for you. On the negative side of things, I just hope that those that go, it's just another day. I'd like to hope that, look, I've been there before. I know how it feels. I just want to reiterate and share the joy. You have to go back and try to look at the hope and joy that you had in it, and try to I don't want to say reprogram, but it allows you to go back and sort of get rid of the bad things, because I've had a lot of things happen to me on holidays, and a lot of people go, I don't celebrate because I had terrible. And I get that, but one of the healing ways of getting around it, at least that's what I found, and again, everyone's got their own way of doing it. I don't turn to drugs, alcohol, poison, suicide, any other, vaping, any of these things that, or get lost and overwhelm ourselves into some games, because then they'll say that some have the game psychological troubles, and they use that as an escape too, the escape. But I found that if we can take some time, look at our subconscious, and allow us to pull back a little bit, re-find the joy in it, and then you get the ones that go, oh, it's just a kid's holiday. No, I've seen my grandmother at 92 dress up. It doesn't have to be, you turn a teenager, and that, or you're 17 and that's the last time you do it, and you turn 18, you're like, I'm not doing it. Don't have to do that. You can if you look at the history, you can also show and find the joy in what it is. A lot of people will say that people will have misinterpreted what this holiday is all about, and they'll look at the negative sides of things, and they're like, well, I'm boycotting it because of A, B, C, D, and F, and other things, and we forgot to look at the base idea of what this is about. This isn't me being a Karen trying to tell people what to do. I'm just sharing with you something as we kind of wrap things up, and it's just something to kind of contemplate and sort of think about as we head into that. Many of us have that chaotic time of year, and what I was leading up to is that when you have bad experiences for holidays, what I've done is I've been able to reprogram and have new experiences with positive people and have a new positive outlook on it. Doesn't mean that I'm being like some of those and just pretending it doesn't exist. That's not what I'm getting at here. What I'm getting at is allows you to have some new experiences that day, and it helps you reprogram it gives you some new opportunity and sorry, Mora's looking. I thought she was checking out like one of the bugs or something that got into our house. I've been having to clean those damn elder box bug thingies up lately. They've been terrible in here. Let's hope that isn't another infestation. But it's a story for a different. I think with that, we could just kind of stand back a little bit, allow us to try to re-enjoy and reinvigorate our hope and joy of the holiday. Instead of hope being torn away from us so often, we forget to find a small bit of joy. And just because someone has done us wrong for so many years, or we're so jealous and angry about something, that doesn't mean that all this angry and evil or anything like that some will identify it as being comes in. It's just we have to allow our minds to look at it in a different way. Let me put it that way. How about that? And I hope that helps you. And I would think with that, let's take two things. Look at that, start our new time together, and allow us to move forward to the next piece. And I think with that, let's have two things that you can do for those parts of it. Call me next week, and we will once again happy Halloween, and or hope you just have a functioning week, and we will see you later.